So, Josh has a question for us, at least to start off with. You want to bring that up, Josh?
Yes. So my question was, in a Zion like atmosphere, what would the governance of the church look like? And I say this knowing that there are a couple of sections in the Doctrine and Covenants that put into black and white exactly what the duties and responsibilities for the different um,
Offices.
offices within the priesthood do, but how would that look in a practical application?
Yeah. So, first of all, deacons, they're going to be police. Okay.
Yep, they'll be the constables who are responsible.
You made it rhyme. So, I mean, I should probably get more, but we can at least start with what I got here, right?
Correct.
Because there's always more, but this is where I have a shiny object problem, so I always go from one thing to another. So, but these are teachers, so let's go deacons. Okay. Let's see what deacons are supposed to do. Okay. Always assist. So basically, if there's a teacher or higher, they're not in charge, right?
Yep,
Right.
correct.
So deacons are to help everybody in their duties. Okay, right. The other
Mhm.
offices. If occasionally,
Okay.
go ahead. Oh,
No, I said okay.
but neither teachers nor deacons have authority to baptize.
Correct.
So,
Or administer the sacrament, or lay on hands.
yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get one thing. Uh,
Okay.
so let me show this just briefly to kind of help make this next statement make some sense. But I'm gonna show my church governance page, well, church government page. Um,
Hmm.
um, let's go probably, not smaller. We probably want it bigger.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
maybe there. Um, so
Yeah, the sweet one. Sure.
okay, I'm gonna pause 1 second while I find what I want. So,
No, no,
Okay.
I understand.
oops, wrong button. Sorry.
I know they're related.
Yep.
Okay, so there's a because of what's in that verse that we looked at, I want to bring out a controversy. Okay, women can be deacons in the
Amen.
Aaronic priesthood. Okay, I don't know how much we want to get into it, but I do have an SJR, or it's deaconess under service or servant. Sorry. Um,
Well,
and
interesting.
then probably more importantly is when you go look at the duties that
Yeah.
Emma was ordained to.
Correct.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh, yeah.
this one it goes along with the duties of the deacons.
Warn, expound, teach, exhort, invite all to come unto Messiah. Yeah.
That's right. Teach, preach,
Um,
pound, and extort. No.
so
Oh,
here's a few more that goes along with these. That's
Seeking for the things of a better
uh,
world.
yeah, and I think that was going to Emma. If I oh yeah, because that's the Emma
Yeah.
section. So yeah, it should make some
Wasn't that
good notes.
the revelation that was given specifically to Emma?
Yeah,
yes. The NC
Right.
25 is strictly
Yeah.
to Emma.
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
but it's a giving a pattern. I should probably maybe add a glyph here and to Emma, so that way, because I just, as you saw, I just forgot. I need Ben's long-term memory. But anyways, um, but these are also things that are going in it, and see how all of these
Oh
are
wow.
going along, which was described in DNC 20 for the duties of a deacon. Okay.
That's not a small duty, by the way.
No, it's not. And it is something that the restoration has forgotten. Now, the
Well,
RLDS,
would you say they'd maybe purposefully have minimized it?
very possibly, especially with the Brighamites, I can highly believe that one because Brigham Young thought women only had one job, and we won't talk about that.
Yeah,
Not
and
right now.
yeah, we don't need to go there. Yeah.
The RLDS Church, although they let women have priesthood, they're letting them have too much. And on top of that, there is a JST. It's actually in their Bible that they have that they're going against, because I forget which one it is, but I can find it because I have notes. Oh, look, there it is. Women are not to rule.
Yes, right.
Yeah, the actual Greek word is not about talking, it's about ruling.
Right.
Yeah. And their top leader is a woman. She's ruling over men.
Does that mean that so just a follow-up question for clarification purposes, does that mean that women can the women can give instruction
Yes. So let's go see
in
what.
gospel circumstance?
Let's go look at
Yes,
what.
if they can be deacons, then they can give instruction.
Yeah, let's go see what they can do as
But giving instruction does not necessarily mean ruling.
yeah, it's not ruling, but look. However, they are to warn, expound, that's teaching.
Yeah, exhort. That's also a form of
And
teaching.
teach. Oh, look, that goes with the expound. And invite all to come.
And invite.
Yep. So there we go. Johnny, give your dad hugs.
Yeah, so I mean that is important to do. In fact, the most important thing, help others come on to Yeshua. Right?
Yes. Yes.
The most important thing is not always being in all of the
Oh, those
right meetings
are overrated.
Yeah, the most important thing is not always being in the right meetings. It's all, but teaching and helping people become what they're supposed to become is far more important than being in all the quote unquote right meetings.
Correct.
Yeah, it's about becoming dealing with all the nuances is annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if anything, if you're doing it correctly, you got to know more scriptures to make sure you're doing it within the bounds that you need to do it within.
Correct.
So I think I see a symbolic thing here too, at least as far as women in the church go, right? Because women are symbolic of the church, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, so women in the church being subject and not to rule means that the church is not to rule its head.
Yes, which is the prophets, which are
right
symbolically of the men, and specifically the prophet is a man. Yeshua.
Right. Yes. So I just put that together in my head while you were talking. It was just like, oh, it's symbolic.
Yeah. And then also, I think another symbolism thing. This also shows along how what mothers do with children.
Yes.
So there's that connection there also.
Yeah,
So
when mothers are actually doing their business, they do these things with their children.
yes, some mothers are better at it than others, as Ben's bringing out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here, right here, like this one, it says, "Let deacons be husbands of one wife." If this is a woman, it would be the opposite. Let the woman be married to one husband, right?
Right.
Yeah, we're not talking about polyandry here.
Right.
No, that's
that's bad.
adultery.
And that's bad.
Yeah, I mean that's just straight out adultery. Sorry.
Yeah.
We'll leave that.
I'm no need to apologize to me. You're talking to the choir here.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll leave that to the FLDS.
I don't think FLDS even does that, to be honest.
Not multiple husbands for wife.
No, but Brigham Young claims Joseph's wife Emma did it, among some others, and I don't believe it. But anyways, that's a whole nother subject. So, don't go off a greedy lucre. That's even in the Book of Mormon also and
Yep.
Torah. Um,
Yep.
eh, that's near when Jethro came to visit, because Jethro was counseling Moses because he was new into the leadership.
Oh yeah.
So I do believe that's before Exodus 19, so it's probably 17 or 18 would be my quick guess. I should add that here, but anyways, I have too many shiny objects. Um, so
World.
yeah, being having trust and diligence in Yahweh's word, right? The faith.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Justified, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Conscious,
Yep. Pure
justified.
conscience, justified. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is that the thing about justification is that that's even a prerequisite for the kingdom period.
Uh, uh, True. Valid point. I think more that they haven't left their justification or abandoned it
Yes.
then. So,
Yes. I think
but
that
yeah, that was a good point, Ben. Yes.
Yeah, I tend to agree with they haven't left it because it says holding the mystery of the faith in a pure conscience. So
Yeah, hold it.
basically not forgetting their justification, not
Right.
leaving it behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Correct.
It's an office, so it's by common consent. We can look in the church page. Uh,
Okay.
okay, and their spouse needs to be good in the faith too.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
That's what this version or
No gossips, no gossips, no backbiters, no
yeah.
things of that nature.
Their children are fairly good kids, right? Showing that they know how to raise.
Their
Uh,
children. Yeah.
though we do need to keep in mind it was not Adam's fault that Cain was a murderer, right?
No,
So,
it is
Yeah,
not.
because Cain made his own
Just
decisions. Yes.
like
right,
it wasn't Lehi's fault that his sons,
Lemon and lemon. Ooh.
Laman and Lemuel, decided to do whatever it is they decided to do.
right. So, you got to take some things into account on how they're doing their parenting also.
Also, one other example, just before we move on, Alma the elder with Alma the younger, because it was the
Yes.
words of Alma the elder that helped Alma the younger receive the forgiveness that he so earnestly sought in that moment of pure agony.
Yes. So one thing about this children, this goes along the required minimum age, 25 Hebrew.
Yeah. Not
Consider,
12.
yeah, not 12. If you're having kids at 12, that's a problem.
That's a problem. Yeah, that's a real problem. That means your parents didn't do such a good job raising you.
Yeah. But going along with the age for marriage is 20 Hebrew or 19 Greek. They had 5 years to at least have some kids, which would go along with this right there. Now, I do understand it's not directly saying this, but when you know these other little tidbits, it really fits in really nicely, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, yes, it does make a lot more sense because hey, now we're talking about adults,
Mm-hmm.
like full-grown adults. And this is stuff that full-grown adults can and should be doing.
Yeah. Now, on the symbolism that I'm going to bring out, how they're having to be married, the church is married to Yah. Thus,
Yes.
the
And that's what
officers
I
need
was,
to be
and
married.
that's also kind of what I was referring to earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then 13, for they used the office of a deacon well purchased to themselves to be a good degree. I think it's not the best word there, but they're in good stature, right?
Right.
They take well good of themselves. They present themselves well, right?
Good standing.
The term is good standing.
Oh, okay, good standing. And here's an important one. Great boldness in the faith, which is Yeshua, the Messiah, or Messiah Yeshua. So boldness, meaning you can't be scared to bring out the truth and call repentance, aka warn and exhort.
Right. And also great boldness in the faith is that they can't be easily shaken from being diligent in obeying what they are preaching.
We see a
Yes,
great
yes, because bold is you're not going to shy back. You're going to
Right.
call out the errors. You're
Right.
you're just not scared. You're just going to bring it out. Because there's Jacob was bold, and there's some others, right?
Gideon from the land of Nephi, and he was I think he was fighting contending with Nahor with words, or was that the person who slew Gideon? I think was that Nahor?
That was
Yeah,
Nahor.
that was Nahor.
Yeah, it's
He was
Nahor.
contending with confidence with Nahor.
He frustrated
Nahor
Nahor to the point where he killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was contending with confidence until Nahor's sword struck down his confidence.
No.
It wasn't the confidence.
He was confident.
It was his physical body.
But yes,
He was
sword struck
confident
down
till
his body.
he was confident till the minute he died. I mean,
well, if you're going to die with confidence as well, because and that's actually I'm kind of being a little flippant about that, but I'm not really, because that's actually a fairly important thing to bear in mind, is that some will be called upon to die for their beliefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he died in the faith.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He better off than a lot of people, right? So
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Exactly.
now one thing I want to bring out here is how even though there could be women deacons in the Aaronic priesthood, it actually specifically states they are not to baptize.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to bring out that goes against the lawless series known as The Chosen,
Yes.
Yep. Because
among
that's
many other issues that show has.
That
Yeah.
show presents a myriad of issues.
Yeah. But since we're here and we're bringing out the women, I thought we should bring that out.
I find it really interesting. Just one last thing on the Chosen. There's lots of people who will criticize the Chosen, but they always want to make it a personal thing. Oh, look at the actors. Look at this person doesn't even believe in Jesus. This person is a Templar. This person is something, this, that, or the other thing. What about the doctrinal issues?
Right.
What about the doctrinal issues?
There are a lot.
I agree.
There's a lot of doctrinal issues in that show. Yes.
The doctrinal issues is more important to focus on, but no one seems to be able to do that. I think there's a lot of good people that can kind of sense there's an issue, but because they don't know the scriptures well enough, they can't bring it out from the scriptures, so that's why people don't focus on it. They only focus on how they have these horrible connections.
Right.
So I do have a question in verse 58. So it says, administer the sacrament. So is that administering the sacrament? They're not supposed to have anything to do with it.
They're not supposed to do it. Period.
Any part of it.
Do it. Yeah.
Any part of it, they're not supposed to do.
They're not supposed to be passing. They're not supposed to be preparing,
blessing, any of it.
Yeah, and I forgot about that, so it's good that you brought that out. Yeah, they're not supposed to be doing anything with the sacrament. Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Nor are the teachers. Right?
Priests or elders, correct?
Have nothing to do with it.
I'm sorry, the teachers and the deacons have enough to do with their own level of responsibility why pile the sacrament onto them as well?
Well, so what the LDS Church does with them, they don't really do much. But back in Joseph Smith's day, it was 25 Hebrew or 24 Greek. We got the calling, or the priesthood, and then you got If it
And they
was an
were-
established
they were-
branch, you got voted in. If it was a new branch, you could get revelation to be put in, right? So anyway.
Right.
But yeah, sacrament, and thank you for bringing that up because I forgot about that. They're not supposed to do anything with the sacrament.
Right.
Yeah, nor the teachers, because they have in the LDS Church. It was around 1920, if my memory serves me correctly, that there were other churches surrounding that were getting the young men into helping things with the church. So the LDS answer was to modify the priesthood without revelation, which they would have never got it because it needs to stay the same forever. So.
Well, at least the only part that they're honest about in that is that they don't claim to have received any revelation to have changed it.
That's true. But most people don't even know this is a change that's happened.
Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, and most people don't.
But there are some scholars out there that do know. That's actually how I initially learned, and there's a few papers out there. But it's forgotten history, just as the church wants it to be.
So teachers and deacons are not to do anything with the sacrament. Period.
Yeah, they're supposed to be. They're supposed.
Well, and they're not supposed to be laying on of hands, but I mean, they never do, except when they kind of do that when someone's called into the presidency. I've seen that, but it has been a while, so they shouldn't be doing that either. But anyways,
Right. Interesting. Very interesting.
another thing I want to bring out is how the deacons are kind of like, oh, I think I already said it, so I might be repeating myself, but the police or the cops.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did bring that up.
Yeah. I know we did a little bit before recording. I'm like, we're saying a lot. We should record.
Yes, we should. Okay, so deacons, that's a lot. That is a lot.
Yeah, it requires a mature person.
Yes, especially what they're to warn, to expound, exhort, and to teach.
And teach
come
and
into
invite.
Yeshua. Now,
And invite.
I mean, I think most 12-year-olds mean well, but I served a mission where most of the people that went on a mission didn't have a testimony of the Messiah. They
Right.
were there to get it.
Right.
That's wrong.
I agree. I 100% agree.
You can't invite someone to come into the Yeshua until you've done that yourself.
Correct.
Yeah, you're kind of putting the cart before the horse there.
Well, and how many of these people receive pressure from their parents, from their siblings, from their aunts and uncles, from their grandparents? You know,
The Lord, the culture.
Yeah, just the whole.
It's general culture.
I didn't have this
really.
problem because I went on a mission, and I'm still glad that I went, even where I'm at now. In fact, I still have my sickle.
I know. You know, I'm very glad I went on my mission as well, because if I had never gone on my mission, I would not be where I am today.
Oh yeah, yeah. So the LDS Church has missionaries go on mission too soon. I'm not 100% sure on some of these things, but at minimum, they have to be 25 Hebrew and maybe 30 Hebrew. And this is where I'm still trying to figure some things out, and I'm trying to be open and honest about it, right?
Well, we know that the tribe of Levi is third. No,
it's 25.
That is 20. Yeah.
25.
Levi is 25, but
Outside
Levi
is 30.
is 30. As far
So
as
just thinking out
But that's
loud.
for public ministry, though, correct?
This is
that's public.
Yeah, it's public stuff. You can have the priesthood before you do public things.
Right.
True.
So I think I will make a bold statement now because I just remembered something. Jeremiah was 25 when he started, right?
Yeah.
Jeremiah was also a Levite.
We're right, but that's Aaronic Priesthood.
Oh, yep. Got it.
Yes.
He started doing stuff in the as the Aaronic Priesthood, just as Joseph Smith started doing stuff publicly on the Aaronic Priesthood at 25.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true. Sure.
And Joseph Smith started doing stuff in Melchizedek Priesthood at 30, just as Yeshua did, which is why Yeshua was 30
When he started his public ministry.
Ministry.
Ah.
Priesthood stuff, as the Book of Hebrews brings out. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
these connect.
Okay,
So, anyways,
that makes sense. Okay.
so I do think we have a. I just remembered a valid example, Jeremiah. So yeah, you can start missions at 25 with the Aaronic priesthood. So
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm still making connections, and I'm honest about it, right? So
Yeah.
Well, I think that's always the best thing. I think that is the best policy.
Honesty
yes,
is policy. I will never go back on that.
yeah.
So, next question. Is it a requirement for people who have higher callings in the church to be married?
So all Aaronic ones, I would absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Especially the bishop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I do believe in just the requirements for deacon. It states that they must be married.
Yeah, and a deacon, yes, as we just looked at. Now,
yeah, never mind. Let the deacons be the husbands of one wife. Okay, all right.
so that is if you're doing something in the church. If you're doing something in the mission field, which has no authority of the church, you do not have to be married, and which goes along with the letter from Paul, right? And Ben could probably tell us where it is because I don't remember right now.
Well, that one I'd have to think about that for a bit.
Oh, okay. There's a
It
JST
has been a while since I've actually looked at that one. I've been more focused on Romans.
Yeah, that's fine. And there's a JST for, and I have a chiasm on it. I just can't remember where it's at. So, but anyways, there's a letter of Paul that brings out.
I do believe it's in one of the Corinthian letters.
Oh, yeah, that sounds familiar. But it does bring out how you do not have to be married, and Paul has a preference that you don't be, but that's his personal preference.
If you're doing missionary work.
Missionary work.
Yeah, missionary work, which is not in the church.
Which requires traveling and being all over the place.
Yeah,
right.
But there's missionaries in the D&C and the New Testament that were married and took their families, so it's fine. It has some additional issues, so I can understand why his preference is there, right? So
right. Okay, all right. That answered that question. Okay, cool.
Okay, so teacher,
Yes.
they teach.
Yeah. Hence the name.
Mysterious.
Yeah.
Just maybe.
But I do. It's. I do think that it's important that people realize that we often make these things a lot more complicated than they need to be. What is a teacher? Oh, yeah, that's what a teacher is.
Right. You mean a teacher is a teacher? But there's more to it. But there's a little bit more to it than just teaching, though.
Well, you have all the responsibilities of a deacon as well.
Yeah, but what greater? The question comes: what greater responsibility is there than to help others to live the gospel?
Right.
To live in the law.
Right. Yeah.
So I just seeing here's another example where here's Melchizedek priesthood, right?
Yep.
I'm sure I'm spelling that wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. But we'll fix it later.
I'll fix it later. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Josh, you want to read some of this and we can talk about it?
Yep. All right. We're going to start in D&C 20, right? 53 through 59.
Yeah.
All right. The teacher's duty is to watch over the church always. They're the watchdogs. They're the protectors. And be with and strengthen them.
So, if I'm remembering my Brighamite days right, I think at teachers when you could start being a home teacher, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you can be
a ministering. Oh, it's a ministering servant now.
Well, I don't care what it is now. I'm talking about when I was there.
Oh, yeah, you can be a home teaching companion to an elder. Yes.
Yeah, which is to go out and watch and strengthen the church.
Yep.
So that part's actually right. The problem is they have the wrong age.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
They have it
And-
as 15 Greek
Okay.
instead of 25 Hebrew, right? So, I mean, it's only like 10 years difference. No big,
There's just a
Small
little
thing.
difference there. Yeah.
just 10 years.
Small
Yeah.
fries.
Who's
Small fries.
counting? Anyway.
Which I don't need to tell you, when you're that young, 10 years is a huge difference.
Oh,
it is a
it
huge
is.
difference. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. And see that there is no iniquity, another word for sin,
Uh-huh.
in the church.
No, iniquity
Neither-
is not the same as sin.
Yes.
Huh?
I'm
You're being
kidding.
sil- you're being
Andrew,
silly.
there's a
Okay.
verse in First John you need to look at.
Neither hardness with each other. Neither
Okay, so this
lying.
is a big deal, right?
It is a huge deal, yeah.
That actually members like each other, and if not, you kind of work on towards making them like each other.
Right.
So this is going a little beyond than the deacons, right? Where you're supposed to teach them and exhort and warn them.
Right.
You're starting to get into actually kind of
You're getting
some of
into
the
human
issues.
relations now. Now you're talking about human relations.
Yeah, like police, they just kind of
They just say
the issue
and halt. And halt.
yeah, and then they take them to someone else to take care of it. They don't
Yeah.
really take care of it.
Right.
Right. So here's a teacher starting to try to.
So here's who the deacons take these people to.
Oh yeah, and also I just want to bring out, it's not that priests are better than or over teachers as it is in the Brighamite church, okay, and that teachers are over deacons. It's not a hierarchy of these three as people like to make it. These three are flat, right?
They have separate. They just have separate responsibilities.
Yeah,
Right.
it's not like you graduate one to the other. Like
Yeah.
it is in the Brighamite
Right.
church. No.
Yeah.
Be like,
In fact,
"Oh, look,
if you go to one to the
you
other,
turned 14, you're a teacher now." Yeah, no.
so how it's supposed to be done in Yahweh's way is you get voted by common consent to go from one to the other because perhaps you've learned more that you now got talents that are better suited somewhere else.
Right.
Yes.
And it
Right.
does have to be by the voice of the people.
But yes, on my church government page, I have a lot of verses about that V word.
It's not according to some hippy dippy feeling or a life event as to whether or not you become the next to whether or not you're a teacher or a deacon.
It's vote by common consent, or in other words, vote by those who are going to be affected by your office.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
So neither lying, backbiting, nor evil speaking. I mean, that all goes into the hardness and all that stuff.
Well, yeah. And that, I mean, I see that in my local neighborhood a bit.
Oh, yes, you do. yes, you do. You have lovely neighbors. Anyways,
That's a word for them.
That's one way. That's one way.
all right. And moving on, and see that the church meet together often. Oh, so they're to plan the meetings. Oh, imagine that.
Oh,
and
well,
also see.
Make sure that they happen is what I
Right.
see.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's maybe a better way of putting it.
I just
Yeah.
want to be careful that we're not like, who came up with what we wanted to do today?
Me.
Yeah, okay. And you didn't tell me before.
And that's why I'm glad you were going through this because, yeah, I
Gives a much better.
some basic confusions here, so that's why I asked.
Yeah, but as in, once the meetings normal meetings, sometimes there's meetings for planning because that's a little different, right?
Right.
And I would say this is not about leadership meetings. Okay, see that the whole church, not just leaders, meet together oft. Okay,
Right.
these are
And
just
also-
the general everybody goes to meetings.
Right. And also see that all the members do their duty.
Right. But one thing I want to bring out is Moroni 6:9 brings out what you do once the meeting's there.
Oh, yeah.
You figure it out when you're there.
You're
Yeah,
governed
yeah,
by
exactly.
you govern the meeting by the Spirit.
Right. Which now I see that's what you were alluding to when you said, and who came up with what we were going to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And now I get it. I was a little slow on the uptake there. All right. I got it.
But this also goes along with teaching, because they're supposed to help everybody know what their duty is. Thus also help them see what their duty is.
And how can they know what their duty is unless they're taught?
Yeah. And the teachers need to know what everybody's duties are.
Right. Makes sense.
To make sure that the members are doing their duty.
That's a lot. Wow.
Now, that's within this specifically here is talking about their branch, okay?
Right.
And
Their unit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I want to bring up how every member is to make sure that the president and the higher ups are doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they're supposed to hold them accountable. Correct.
It's all members, not just teachers. Okay.
Not just the person above that other person.
Right.
Brighamite LDS Church likes to try and do it.
Yeah, no, it's all members, and I have that on my church government page. But I just want to kind of bring out this little caveat here. And this is talking about the local unit or branch, right?
Right.
But on that point, ward is nowhere in the DNC.
It's branch. It was always branches.
Ward is a Masonic word coming from Brigham Young.
Well, he was. Yeah. Anyways,
he was more Mason than Mormon, and he even is.
Ward is also.
And he admitted that too.
I should also like to point out that on the hospital units where people are kept, those are called wards as well. Now, I don't know how much of the hospital system. I do believe that the hospital system is heavily infiltrated by Masons, but I do think that there is a medical component to the word ward.
That's a valid point. I'll just add there's also one of a component of a psych ward, but anyways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right. So and he is to take the lead of meetings in the absence of the elder or priest. Well, that's something that the deacon cannot do.
Yeah. Well, deacons only gets in charge if only deacons. So,
right.
For the most part, their duties are flat. But when there's not hierarchy, the leadership, there is some of these little bit of hierarchy mentioned here, right?
Right.
Now, but when you go look at what their actual duties are, that kind of makes sense, right?
Right.
But it's not that you graduate one to the other, because it's actually flat, but
they're offices within the Aaronic priesthood, separate and apart from each other.
Right. But there is an order to Yah's kingdom. And so when you look at what these different offices are to do, it makes sense the way that they have it. Right.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Now, notice here, this is going to be technicality we've talked about before, but I want to bring it out again. It only says elder. It doesn't say high priest or elder.
It says elder.
The high priest is an elder. They're unanimous in the DNC.
They're the same.
Okay.
A high priest has the high priesthood, or in other words, is an elder.
Yeah. So
anybody because elder is that's an office within the Melchizedek priesthood, right?
No, an elder is that you have the Melchizedek priesthood.
Yeah, in other words, anybody who has the high priesthood who does not have a specific office within that priesthood is an elder.
Okay. All right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So or in other words, an elder or a high priest are unanimous. It's the same thing. It's another way of saying the same.
Synonymous, you mean?
No. Yes.
Synonymous. You mean they're synonymous?
Thank you. Yeah. I need to work on my dictionary memorizing.
Or maybe you're a thesaurus or something. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh yeah. Anyways, or that. Anyways, but I do want to bring out how if it's the way that the LDS Church claims, why is it missing?
Oh, well, I mean, that's a really good question.
So, anyways, all right. Okay, moving on.
Probably because they're the same. All right. Anyways, and it and is to be assisted always in all of his duties in the church by the deacons if occasion requires.
So deacons are like they need to watch over the church, be teaching them, warning them, calling them to repentance.
You know what deacons
And
are? You know what deacons are?
what?
They're the happy helpers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, and they have to be willing to help with everything.
Yeah.
What if they're not happy?
They're the happy helpers.
What if they're not happy, Josh?
Well, then they better get happy. No.
Okay.
Then they need to look at their priorities. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, if they're not happy, then that probably means that they have something that they need to repent of because they're not living in the way of happiness.
Oh, should we go over where depression comes from? No, I won't.
No, let's not sidetrack on that right now. But
Okay.
no, but that's my point, is that if there is darkness in their life, it's probably because they're not living in the set apart way.
Correct.
And Andrew, maybe I don't know if you can delete your red lines because I'm guessing you did that on accident. I think that's a new feature.
Oops.
Wow.
Andrew's drawing lines. I'm gonna go get rid of them. Apparently I don't know how to. So anyways, moving on.
All right. Anyway,
I'm sure he's doing it on accident.
but here we go. Here we go again. But neither teachers nor deacons have authority to baptize, administer the sacrament, or lay on hands.
So, do we want to go look at the word definition of minister in 1828?
I think we should.
You should.
Okay, let me get it up because I mean that's the second time it's come up, which makes sense because it's now talking about teachers who are not allowed to, right?
Right. Now this is the second office in the Aaronic priesthood that has said, "You shall not administer."
Thou shalt not.
And what I'm going to just say off of my rough memory, it goes along with how you're not supposed to give any medications or anything to anybody.
Oh,
But it's been a while, so let's go through it.
to dispense.
You want to read? Well, let's do John.
Okay.
All right. Administro to serve or manage, to act as minister or chief agent in managing public affairs under laws or constitution of government.
Okay, so that one's not it. Go look at
No.
To dispense as
to
to
dispense.
administer justice.
Or
Oh,
the sacrament. Or the
Or the
sacrament.
sacrament.
ah, right there.
Definition 2.
Yep.
But the question is how do you define dispense? Do you define it with the just passing out of the sacrament? Or
Well, considering
Oh,
the definition actually says sacrament.
no,
would
but
say-
the question is how do you define dispense?
Okay, so you
Amen.
to that word.
All right, let's look up dispense then.
Yeah, because I think that's also pretty important to know.
Okay, all right, we're going there.
Yeah. To deal or divide out in parts or portions. Yeah.
So even the preparation.
That's gonna be giving out, okay? I mean, we go look.
So even the preparation is out because there's you're determining what portion is available.
Right.
You're
Yep.
putting the bread and the water in the thing, so they're not even supposed to help prepare.
Yep.
Another thing you get wrong, LDS Church.
Yay. Oh, anyways.
You need to repent.
Well, I do believe it happened when they gave it to the teenage boys in trying to give them a reason to come to church.
Right.
So,
Well, if you're not coming to church to learn, you're already doing it for the wrong reason.
yeah. Well, there's fellowship too. Fellowship's important.
Fellowship is very important. I agree with you.
This is why I call this fellowship and scripture study. Fellowship.
Right. Right. They are, however, to warn, expound, exhort, and teach, and invite all to come unto Christ, exactly the same as the deacons.
Yeah. Okay, so
Mhm.
here, despite what people claim, the Book of Mormon does show a priesthood. Here's one that I have saved, right?
Uh-huh. And it came to pass that they were brought before the priests. Oh, priests! And delivered up unto the priests by the teachers.
Oh, wait a minute. Doesn't that kind of just go along with what we just kind of read?
Yeah, it's
Yeah, maybe.
basically what it seems like is that the deacons, the teachers see that everybody's doing their duty. The deacons, if there's a problem, they bring it to the teachers who take it up to the priests.
If they can't solve it.
deal with it.
If they can't deal with it at their level.
Yeah. So this is where the priest couldn't do
And then
it.
the priest brought
And
them
they took
before
up
Alma,
the
who was
high
the
priest,
high priest.
which is higher in knowing the law and taking care of the law, right? Because now this is the high priest is Melchizedek priesthood here. Okay, this is
Right.
not talking about the high priest of the tabernacle. This is talking about high priest of the
The high
Melchizedek.
priest, period.
Yeah.
Right.
So
So
anyway,
there's a verse that has both Aaronic and Melchizedek priesthood.
yes, and that's
Oh, and that's before Yeshua
mhm.
came to them.
So for all you false teachers out there who say there's no such thing as a priesthood, wake up.
Yeah, and normally I think of Moroni chapters. I should
Mhm.
add this to some priesthood resource page just to make it easier to remember, right? But
Yeah.
That'll be a good thing.
right
Yeah.
there, or priesthood in the Book of Mormon. It's like Joseph Smith was helping us understand these, or Yeshua through Joseph Smith is helping us understand the little bit of priesthood stuff that's in the Book of Mormon.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because the priesthood was not the main focus of the Book of Mormon,
Wait a
people.
minute,
No.
Stephen,
No, it was not.
Are you suggesting that Yahweh's ways are simple?
Yes, I think more that I was suggesting was that it was the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. That's what makes it simple, is that it doesn't change.
Right. I
Yeah,
guess that's my point.
yeah,
It is.
all of these, there's there's tons of teachers who purport to be able to expound exactly what changed in the priesthood at the with the advent of the resurrection of Yeshua.
But they're wrong. I know what it was.
Yeah, the
Law of
change,
Moses was no longer had to be done.
Right.
to strike
It
down
had its end in Yeshua.
Yeah.
But Ben's not quite done talking, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sorry.
It's what was changed was all I was going to say was that what was changed was the striking down of the handwriting of ordinances that was against us.
Which is also known as
The law of Moses,
Yeah.
or
or the two daily laws,
carnal commandments
Law of carnal commandments. Right. Yeah.
or blood sacrifices.
Blood sacrifices. Yes.
Or the daily, you mean the daily blood sacrifices.
The interesting thing is that the other offerings are not necessarily called blood sacrifices. Sin offering is a sin offering. It's not a blood sacrifice.
So, well,
It's not called a blood sacrifice.
It's called. There's some blood, but it's not
okay.
called.
Okay, it's not
It's
called
not
a blood
called
sacrifice.
blood
Okay,
sacrifice.
okay. Because I was going to say, blood is spilled.
Oh, yeah, but it's not called.
Not called a blood sacrifice. It's
All right.
called
Okay.
sin.
Okay.
Peace offering, while blood is spilled, is not called a blood sacrifice. It is called a peace offering. A free will offering is called a free will offering. It is not called a blood sacrifice.
Okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And all of these things will be
All,
duties of the
all
priesthood in the
becoming back.
temple.
They will all be restored. Yes.
Correct. They will all be priesthood duties in the temple.
Yes.
Not just
Not law of Moses one.
specifically the Levitical priesthood.
Oh, this is true. That is correct.
The house of Levi.
Yeah.
Yes, as in, I forget one of the Aaron's descendants that got promised that.
Zadok.
Okay.
Zadok.
But other tribes will be able to have the Aaronic priesthood to do these duties, right? So, but
Right.
they're still under the Aaronic, right? It's just
Right.
the animal sacrifice.
They have a very specific.
They have a very specific thing that they're focused on. Right.
Oh, right. And that part was not restored, hence it's not, Joseph Smith didn't put it here. That's
Right.
the job of the mighty.
And he wasn't meant to.
Yeah. Joseph Smith was not meant to restore all. So, anyways. But that's a good point that Bing brings out there. It's Levitical, which
Right.
I don't know what it's going to be called, but there's going to be another office here.
Well, yeah. That's an interesting thought. It may not be called Levitical. It may be called something else. It may just be called
I know what Ben means, but in the DNC, Levitical and Aaronic are used synonymously. Did I say it right this time?
Yes.
You just about got it. Yes, you got it.
Almost.
It's there.
Okay.
Synonymous. Yeah.
So I knew what Ben meant. Okay.
Right.
I think there will be another office.
Well, it would make sense just to call them temple workers.
Well, here's the thing.
Sure, why not? I'm fine with that.
If they're doing the work in the temple, why don't you just call them temple workers?
I do believe in the 5 books of Moses, it is referred to as priestly offices. Even when it's talking about the Levitical offices or works, the ordinances, they're the priestly ordinances.
So maybe it might be a division of the priests. Possibly, we'd have to look at translation. I don't know. I haven't looked into that issue.
I do believe that I do. My current opinion, subject to change upon receiving greater information,
Sure,
is that it will be a division of the priestly office.
Okay, and I can see how that could be the case. It's not something I've put thought into.
Right.
So it's kind of somewhat along what I was saying, but maybe slightly different, right? So,
yeah.
Speaking of priests, you want to look at that?
Let's get into it. Yeah.
Well, and the reason why I say that it's likely to be, I have a reason why I say it's likely to be a division of the priestly office, and that is because the priestly office is the only office in the priesthood that sees to the priestly office is the only office in the Aaronic priesthood that sees to any ordinances whatsoever.
Well, that's true.
So, as the ceremonial definition,
when I'm talking about ordinances, I'm talking about ceremonies. I'm not talking about
in this case, right?
Yeah, in this case, I'm talking about ceremonies, not laws. But they're the only ones who do any ceremonial ordinances whatsoever.
And that makes some sense, right?
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
But like Ben said, until we know anything better, right?
Right. Always subject to further light and knowledge. Yes.
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right. The priest's duty is to preach, teach, expound, exhort, and baptize, and administer the sacrament. Big deal.
No one else is supposed to prepare it, or
no. Because remember, for the deacons and the teachers, it said not administer the sacrament.
Yeah, because and we have shown already in this recording that that administer does cover all aspects, including preparation.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, as in by going to the dictionary, that
pesky dictionary thing.
Yeah, that really ruins a lot of ideas, doesn't it?
Well, it ruins a lot of false ideas, that's for sure.
It depends on your perspective, honestly. If you're looking for if you're not looking for what you talk about to be true, then
true.
Yeah.
So and see Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
I'm just looking. I'm looking at this part and visit the house of each member. Maybe it was a priest that started doing home teaching, and I remembered wrong.
Um, I'd have to double check that, but I think priests in the early church, priests did go do home teaching.
But I did it. I'm just trying to remember if I started as a priest or a teacher. I actually like.
I remember I started as a teacher. I
Yeah,
remember.
So
it's
maybe
a
that was a perversion then. So
I
anyways,
started as a deacon.
Yeah.
Oh, you started as a deacon, John?
I was teamed up with Dad.
Oh.
okay. Well, anyways, all right.
That
But
was
here
good for
it
you
says
because you never had to say a darn thing.
Well, I still wound up. Dad still made me teach a lot.
Yeah, Dad would
That
make
worked
it.
out great for you.
Dad would make it. Dad would make the junior companion teach.
Actually, that's true.
So I'm just thinking outside. So maybe priests go to the houses.
Yes.
Teachers are maybe just watching at church, maybe.
At
And
the meeting
deacons are watching everywhere.
overall.
They're
Yeah,
Maybe
watching
that's
the
what's
street.
going the
They're
difference.
watching. They're watching the walk of the people in the streets.
Yeah, yeah. Where teachers are kind of maybe doing it more at church.
In the church unit. So it's a
Which
more
would make sense.
specific area of concentration, maybe.
It would make more sense that the deacons, being the constables, would be watching the streets.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I do believe that deacons are like the police.
Mhm.
And I guess the teachers are doing it at the church meetings or
Yeah,
something.
it's a more specific area of responsibility.
Yeah, and then the priests go to the houses right there,
The
right?
individual members, yeah, and exhort them to pray vocally, not just and in secret, but not just in secret, but to pray vocally and in secret and attend to all family duties. In
Yeah.
other words, don't be a deadbeat.
Yes. And this is going to go off of how children have specific duties, husband has specific duties, and
A wife has specific duties. They all have specific duties within the family unit.
yeah. Yeah.
And he may also ordain other priests, teachers, and deacons. So this is the only office in the Aaronic priesthood that can lay on hands.
Yes. So I do believe, if we're reading this right, deacons don't ordain deacons.
Nope. When teachers don't ordain deacons or teachers
Right. It's just priests that do that, right?
that do the ordinations. Correct. And he is to take the lead of meetings when there is no elder present, when there's no Melchizedek priesthood holder present, basically, is what that's saying. Correct?
Yeah. And this, see how this is also not specifying a high priest or an elder because they're the same. Okay.
Right. But when there is an elder present, he is only to preach, teach, expound, exhort, and baptize.
Now, mention here, this is not necessarily an elder of a particular office, but if there's
just
elder,
so is that basically when it's stated like that, is that basically just stating when there is a Melchizedek priesthood holder present? Is that
Yes.
basically what it's saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's to have the Melchizedek priesthood, you have learned how things and kept things as they are supposed to be more than Aaronic, right?
Okay.
So this is
Most likely, because there's an age requirement, so it's not an absolute. In general,
yeah.
go ahead, Ben.
So this is an interesting thing. Going back to the first Exodus, at the foot of Sinai, the elders of the people went up halfway up the mountain with Moses and met with God, met with Elohim, saw him face to face. Dinner.
70 of them to be specific, right? But anyways.
Yeah. This was before this of course was before the Melchizedek priesthood was taken from them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
now it wasn't taken from every individual.
Okay.
I just want to say it. Okay.
Let me finish real quick. There are references after that to the elders of the people. Is this referring in the same light, or is this a different light?
We'd have to look at specific verses because Melchizedek priesthood was taking away en masse, not every single person. So,
So they could still have potentially have been elders.
Mm-hmm.
yes. And also, was it DNC 20 or something, or 21, where it brings out how Joseph Smith is the first elder? He had the Melchizedek priesthood. He just
All right.
couldn't act as an elder because
Until
he
the
wasn't
appropriate
30
age.
yet. Which
Right.
is when the church structure changed, is when he was 30 Hebrew.
Right.
So he had the Melchizedek priesthood, hence the word elder. He just couldn't act as an elder.
Yeah. Until he was of the correct age.
But it is interesting here. Look who's in charge of the church unless there is an elder.
The priest.
Yeah, so it's even right here kind of leaves into play that Joseph Smith was still in charge.
Regardless.
Because
Yes.
he was the elder. There wasn't others until later, right? But anyways, he was the elder. So that does help kind of clarify some. What is it? Is that DNC 21 or something like
I
that?
want to say it's 21 because 20 and 21.
They deal almost exclusively with
Yeah,
priesthood stuff.
organization.
Church
Anyway.
organization and how the different offices within the priesthoods are supposed to be managed.
Yeah, but this right here could help make that part make more sense, right?
Yeah.
And knowing that he was an elder, he just couldn't act as
right.
one.
Right. He couldn't yes,
He
right.
didn't have the age requirement yet, but
right.
he was still head of the church. So it's kind of a interesting
Double-edged. It's a double. Yeah, it's a kind of a
sense issue to boot.
Yeah, and visit the house of each member, exhorting them to pray vocally and in secret, and attend to all family duties. That's the second time that's been said.
Yeah, that's chiasm.
So that must be really, really important.
Yeah.
Since it said it exactly the same way twice.
Yeah.
And in all these duties, the priest is to assist the elder if occasion requires.
So priests can help elders.
Yep.
So maybe deacons help the teachers or priests, but not elders.
No, they're only to help the teachers and priests, which is what it specifically states in the section for the deacons. I'm pretty sure.
Did it? Let's see.
I'm pretty sure says where is it? Where is it?
Assist his duties.
Oh no, it said all his duties in the church.
Oh, so 57. Oh, this is talking about teachers here.
Yeah.
So because so 57, there's 57, so that's teachers. So I need to clean this up a little bit, as you guys can see. So let's pause for 1 second. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and then I think we did this already, but just in case. And the duties of the priest is assist the elder if occasion requires. And we just double checked. The deacons are to assist teachers because 57 has to do with teachers.
Mm-hmm.
And then even like there assist, there's that. And are teachers supposed to assist? Let's see. I don't think it said that, did it?
No, it did not.
No, so
that's specific.
And that would yeah, teachers are not assisted. Priests are not assisted by teachers. Right?
However, teachers can take the lead of meetings if there's not an elder or priest present.
Right, but that's not assisting the
No.
Yeah, and that means no sacrament.
Right.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Get together.
Right.
Get together, learning.
Well, it can be a study session or something like that, but yeah.
Well, as I said, but it's still a get together.
Yeah, which is what they're supposed to make sure happens, right? Right there.
Fellowshipping. Yes.
Yeah.
Fellowshipping.
Yeah, the church meet together often, and maybe it is just fellowship, right? So
Yeah.
That could be just as important as anything else. that you do.
Well, I mean, heck,
yeah.
look at what we did yesterday. We didn't do a recording yesterday, but we needed the fellowship. So there you
Yeah.
have it.
Well, and then also on top of that, our first hour, I kind of, unless someone's like in a hurry, I have it be fellowship, right? So
Right.
okay, all
Which
right.
is good.
So this we already read because I think we read that with the teachers. Yeah.
Correct.
So let's go to bishops. Uh,
Okay.
I
let
got
me-
this one.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if there's bishops in DNC 20 real quick. So I'm going to pause.
Okay.
My notes are not the most thorough on this issue because it hasn't been one I've been really.
There might be something about bishops in section 20. I'm
I
pretty
know
sure
there's
there
plenty
is.
from 107.
Yeah, don't forget about 107.
Sure. Oh, okay. Let me pause for a minute. Okay. Hey, Ben, you want to take a turn reading? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, it's okay.
A little small, but can you?
Oh, I can see. Well, I have it at where I can make it a little bigger if you want.
I just need to get this closer to me.
Okay.
Okay. Doctrine and Covenants, section 20, verse 67. Every president of the high priesthood, or presiding elder, bishop, high counselor, and high priest, is to be ordained by the direction of a high council of the church or general conference.
Okay. So, in later we do get something that's a little more specific than that verse, right? So
Yeah.
this was
This is an example of more information being given as questions are asked.
yes. In fact, maybe we just no, we'll do that at the end, just to keep them in order. So this is like who can give stuff to the bishop. So I mean, it is in DNC 20, but
They are to be ordained to their office by the high council, apparently, of the church.
well, so let's look at what's going on here. There
Mhm.
was not the presidency of the high priesthood at the time when DNC 20 was given.
Yeah.
So that does kind of go along with what's being stated there and how when Joseph Smith turned 30 Hebrew or 29 Greek, the church changed. And then here's what's supposed to now, how it's supposed to be. So this is going, the church structure changed as the person who was supposed to be in charge met the age requirement, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go here to the next one here, Doctrine and Covenants, section 41, verse 9. And again, I have called my servant Edward Partridge, and I give a commandment that he should be appointed by the voice of the church. Wait, I've called him, yet he still must be appointed by the voice of the church.
Yeah. So this is saying Yahweh wants him to be there, but the church actually has to make up their mind if that's what they want or
Wait,
not.
isn't there a high back in the Old Testament after the judges when the people call for a king and they choose to have a king? This is kind of goes along with that, wherein Yahweh wants his people to choose their leaders.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
still wants them to exercise their agency.
And it's really interesting that in the law, it's like he foresaw that they would eventually choose to have kings, and he gave restrictions on the power of kings.
But
Yeah.
but also it's this is a tricky one, but it's not against the law to have a king.
No, I didn't know.
I know you didn't say that. I'm just trying to clear this up. Because if it was against Torah to have a king, Yeshua couldn't be our king. The issue is having a king that's like or behaves like the pagans. That's the issue.
Right.
Right.
Having
So
a
this
king who is not actively trying to become like Yeshua.
But I do find that really interesting that though Yahweh has called Edward Partridge this, he does leave it to the voice of the church.
Now, here's another thing I think goes along with this, as we've talked about some already, but I'm bringing it out explicitly. They were already organized at that time.
Yes.
So that's why the church had to decide themselves, but this is what Yahweh wants, but do what you think is best, right?
I just noticed something else towards the end of this verse too, because it makes me think that bishop is supposed to be a full-time job.
It
is.
is.
And
Oh,
ordain a
yes.
bishop onto the church to leave his merchandise and to spend all his time in the labors of the church. That's a
And
full-time calling.
And the
That's a
bishop,
24/7 calling.
the bishop is actually supposed to be paid.
Yes. One thing I bring up
Okay.
by
See,
bishops are judges
that's
of
what I was
Israel
getting at.
is they're paid. It's a paid job in the church.
It should be.
They're not teachers. They are it's like the government part of the church, okay? They're
Yeah.
not
They
they can
And
teach.
that's
They're not being paid to teach, but their payment is for what they're doing all day long, every day. Okay.
right.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's what I was getting at. That sounds like that's a full-time, 24/7 job.
Yeah.
Well,
It said leave his merchandise or leave his job and
Right.
spend all day working for the church.
Well,
Yeah,
and here's the
yeah.
and here's the other thing too.
No.
I'm sorry. Here's the other thing too.
It's all good.
The the bishop, think about his responsibilities. He's got to organize the deacons. He's got to organize the teachers. And he's got to organize the priests.
Yes,
What
we'll
they
get
have to do.
yeah, and we'll get into that even more in when we go over 107, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Yep.
there's a lot.
So this is a full-time. It's a full-time job, and the bishop is also a judge in Israel.
Yes.
Yes, like a real judge. So when there's a problem, it's
Guess
like
who it goes to? Guess who it goes to?
yeah,
The
when the
bishop.
neighbors are fighting and you have to make a decision like King Solomon did,
When the neighbors are
you
fighting,
go to the bishop.
yeah, when the neighbors are calling each other butt faces.
Yeah. And
Is
they
that a
can't.
reference to Stephen's lovely neighbors?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that or how people treat others on social media, and
Oh yeah, that too.
a lot.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
But what happened with me is according to the law. But they're supposed to handle the court cases,
Right.
among other things, right? But they're being
Mhm.
paid. It's their day job.
Yeah.
It's their whole job.
Yeah. Maybe.
Doctrine and Covenants 51:12, I think that is.
It's their whole job. It's not just their day job, it's their whole job. That's
Yeah.
he said, leave the merchandise and spend all your time. All of your time.
Valid point. Valid point. I wasn't old enough there. Sorry.
Yeah. It's all good.
Okay, Ben.
Doctrine and Covenants 51:12, anybody?
Sure.
Oh, I'll read it.
No,
Yeah, we're ready.
asking-
He's wondering-
Go ahead.
I was just asking if I could read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And this shall be done through the bishop or the agent, which shall be appointed by the voice
But as in vote of the people. Oh, so
of the church.
let's go change apps, go find out what that thing is. So this is where some of my notes. You can see how I'm not. Sometimes I need to make some things better. Here's one occasion of that. Right?
So with Stephen, while Stephen's finding that, I just want to point out how crucial it is that Yahweh gives you a member of the church, a member of the church in Zion. The choice. Well, let me finish. Okay, sorry. A choice in Zion, because it's the same choice that Joshua gave the children of Yisrael before they entered into the land.
I think there should be a popular vote to depose teacher in Zion.
Anyway,
That's
before they go into the land, whether they will choose good, which is what Yahweh wants, or whether they will choose according to their own will, which is usually
Not good.
what Yahweh wants, and is usually deceitful and what have you.
But at this time, the rebels will be sorted out. That is in prophecy. The rebels will be thrown out at this time.
Well, yeah, but you know what I'm saying, though. My point is not to talk about right here, right now. It is, but the whole point is use your voice to support what Yahweh wants.
Yeah.
Choose good. Choose you this day whom ye will serve.
and then
My
on
favorite
top
verse.
of that, when leaders are not doing what they're supposed to,
Hold them accountable.
Yahweh in the Revelations state the members are to keep the leaders in check. Now,
Yeah,
it's not just
hold
because they
them
don't
accountable.
like what they're doing. It has to be according to Yah's word.
It has to be according to Torah. Yes.
Yeah, you gotta. The leaders are held to Yahweh's word. Now, there's some leeway in things and how to do some things, but so you can't hold them to your opinion over how their opinion is, but you hold them to the actual word of Yah. Okay,
Correct.
as long as what they're doing is within those bounds, you have to let them, or you have do another vote, right? If enough people
Yeah.
don't want them there anymore. So, anyways.
Right.
So I found the verses we want. It's 9 through 12. And I'm just going to say it's about tithing, but I can read this one. And let every man deal honestly and be alike among this people and receive alike that they may be one, even as I have commanded you. And let that which belong to this people not be taken and given unto that of another church or another group of people, right? Wherefore, if another church would receive money of this church, let them pay unto this church again according as they shall agree.
They're talking about the different branches, right?
Oh, maybe that's what it, yeah, maybe it is the different branches. That would make more sense.
Right.
Yeah, so along with this, so in Torah, the first 5 books of Moses, to be more specific, it does state that tithing stays local, and it does, and I think Josh did call out what's going on here. Tithing stays local. So that's good. I should add that to the other verse from the 5 books of Moses. It states that tithing stays Torah. So here's another example of Torah in the DNC, right?
Oh my goodness. It's just everywhere. It's just everywhere.
Yeah. It's just when you don't study it, you're not gonna see it, right?
Right.
There's another one on Torah on tithing in the DNC about declaring your stewardship. And that's from Torah also on
Yeah.
And even the way it's worded goes back to the 5 books of Moses. So, anyways, but good catch there, Josh. Thank you. So, tithing stay local, but for the most part, you can help others as you can, and you'll even see that with Paul, right? Sometimes the church has helped with some other ones, but for the most part, it stays local.
However, if you help another church, they should pay you back.
Yes, I think this. I don't know how.
To a reasonable agreement of payment.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like every single penny or just do the best you can or when they can. So there's a little ambiguity.
Or maybe just an agreement to return the favor. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a little ambiguity.
Ambiguity.
Ambiguity. Yeah.
Yes, that word I think in there because payment is not always cash,
Well,
right?
and it goes back to verse 9. Let every man deal honestly.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
that's actually incredibly important.
That
Yeah.
It's a part of one of the most overlooked parts of the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, yes, deal honestly. As
Mhm.
not trying to rip people off, right?
Right.
Anyway.
Not trying to get one over on somebody. Right.
Yeah, so that's some good information there about bishopric and tithing there, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
That also goes against how the LDS Church sends everything to Salt Lake City, Utah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we established pretty well in this recording that the LDS Church isn't doing anything right.
Well, they might do one or two things right,
They're
but
doing very little right. Let's just put it
Well,
that
with
way.
regards to they've got okay, so they have the teachers going out to the houses, but that's apparently from what we've covered here, that's actually not what they're supposed to be doing.
yeah, well, okay, but are you just talking about priesthood stuff or just things in general?
I'm talking about priesthood administration.
So the one thing I do know that they're doing kind of right, other than they don't have the Melchizedek priesthood, but I don't have it either, is bishops.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless there's
They-
someone of Aaron.
But here's the problem. They're not necessarily doing that right either, because I know that a very small percentage of the actual bishops in the church are probably descended from Levi, so they're not doing
Well,
that right
yeah,
either.
and I know of cases where people brought up how they are descendants, and they just,
And they said, "Yeah, you're deceiving yourself," or something like
or
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
they come up with some excuse. But
yeah,
anyways, so although, so the one part where they think the bishops have Melchizedek priesthood when they're not Levi, right? They're doing that
right.
right. They just don't have the Melchizedek priesthood. So ultimately, they're not doing it right.
Ultimately, they're still not right, but at the same time, at least they're attempting to. At least they're attempting to be.
Yeah, they're attempting to do that one correctly. So
Right, but that's about the only one.
that I can think of off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, at
They
least
don't
with
even.
the Aaronic priesthood. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Ben, are you willing to keep?
Yes, I am.
So this is
I was
107
just
now.
I was just waiting for a lull here.
Okay.
Doctrine and Covenants 107, 13 through 17. Okay. The second priesthood is called the priesthood of Aaron because it was conferred upon Aaron and his sons and his seed throughout all their generations. Why it's called the lesser priesthood is because it is an appendage of the greater, or the Melchizedek priesthood, and has power in administering outward ordinances.
Now, I do want to bring out just real quick. There's only two priesthoods, despite what some people claim that there being three. There's only two, and I think 107 says that, right?
Yeah,
Yes, it
makes
does.
Okay.
Yes, 107 says that.
I think it's more near the beginning. We don't need to go look
Okay.
at it. I just want to bring it out, okay? Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that still push the idea of three. So, anyways.
the
That's
bishopric.
because they misunderstand. I'm sorry, Ben. It's
Yep.
because they misunderstand scriptures in that Levitical about the Levitical priesthood and the Aaronic priesthood, and they're misunderstanding and twisting scriptures.
Well, and I think some of it also is culture too.
Yeah, that could be it too. Yeah.
So,
Sorry, Ben.
okay. The bishopric is the presidency of this priesthood and holds the keys or authority of the same.
Oh, wait, did we do 14?
Yes.
Yes, we did. Mhm.
Okay, well, I do want to bring out something that Ben brought out, unless Ben remembers what it is, and he can do it.
Okay, so it's the outward ordinances. There is only one office in the Aaronic priesthood that has any right to perform outward ordinances on any level. That is the priests. The other thing is that these outward ordinances baptism. These outward ordinances are all signs. They in themselves are not covenants, they are signs of a covenant. The baptism is a sign.
Or as I would use more witness, but it ultimately it's the same thing. I just like Mosiah 18 and the sacrament prayers use the word witness, but I do believe it's the same thing.
In one way or another, they both words are used in describing. But the baptism is a sign and a witness to the covenant that you have made already, that you will observe and keep all of Yahweh's commandments. It is an outward ordinance, confirming to the eyes of those watching the inward covenant that you have made. Similarly, sacrament is an outward ordinance and a sign or witness. Okay. What was it? What was I waiting for?
Witness. I said sign or witness.
Or a sign or a witness. Okay. It's a sign or a witness to the renewal of your covenant. It is a sign and a witness to your desire to take upon you the name or character of Yeshua. And it is a sign or witness that you will keep all of his commandments.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Now, the thing about a sign or a witness is that it can work for you and it can work against you.
It's a double-edged sword. Yes.
Like blessings and cursings, right?
I lay before you this day blessings and cursings, life and death.
Blessings.
When we take these signs unworthily, they kill us.
Yes. So, so the one I was those are good things that have been brought out, but the one I was thinking about that been brought out another time, is against the Brighamite temple because Melchizedek priesthood does not do outward or ordinances.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. That is right. That's right. The Brighamites, they have those outward ordinances. Now they'll say they're not outward because they're supposed to be secret, and nobody ever gets into the temple with a camera to record them and puts them on YouTube. That never happens.
But even on top of that, they actually do say that the garments that they wear is an outward symbol of an inward commitment, but that's done showing that is an outward ordinance because it's all.
Yeah,
So even their own words betray them.
They're not even following their own books of scripture.
Yeah, but anyways, let Ben finish.
Josh, is this news?
No, I'm just saying it with emphasis. I'm just saying it with emphasis so that people will hopefully it will connect.
Right. They don't.
Yeah, they don't. This is how you can tell a false religion, because they falsify their own scriptures.
Right. And so what's being brought out is it's claimed that Melchizedek priest is needed for the LDS Brighamite temples,
which are outward ordinances.
This right here goes against this because this is talking about the Aaronic priesthood, and that's that they don't claim that's Aaronic priesthood stuff going in the temple.
Yeah, Aaronic priesthood cannot officiate in the temple. And what's being done in the temple is nothing.
In the LDS Brighamite temple, let's just make that clear.
Yes, good clarification. I won't repeat it.
Okay.
But what's being done in the LDS Brighamite temples is nothing other than outward ordinances. We'll just leave it at that. It's nothing but outward ordinances. It shouldn't be being officiated by the Melchizedek priesthood, because the Melchizedek priesthood is the voice of God. The Aaronic priesthood are his arms and legs and what have you.
And hands.
And hands. They do the outward ordinances. The Melchizedek priesthood provides the instruction that helps people live on the level that they can receive the inward ordinances.
So, John, are you willing to help us understand what outward is?
Absolutely. External.
So you mean it like something showing that's outside of our
Yes.
flesh, right?
Yeah.
Like my
Yes.
shirt is my outward clothing.
Ooh.
Oh, oh, you mean like the garments?
Yeah.
Oh,
That sounds
oh.
like an outward ordinance going on. But hey.
Wait. Oh, wait. Definition 2. External. Outside.
Visible.
Visible. Opposed to inward.
Yeah, those handshakes are outward, external. I'm sorry.
Opposed.
Okay.
I will repeat it one more time.
Opposed, as in baptism of fire, which is an inward thing, right?
Oh, by the way,
Yeah. Anyways,
Which is actually given to the individual by Yah himself, but the instruction from the Melchizedek priesthood prepares the individual.
yeah, that's a Melchizedek ordinance as defined by Moroni. I forget which chapter, but anyways.
so guess what, guys? Definition 3. Extrinsic, which means to do with the outside of yourself.
Yes.
Oh, contrary to baptism of fire, right? Okay.
Correct.
Right.
Or,
Yes. This is
or
a very,
baptism of the Holy Spirit too, right?
Which
what
is a very
happens if someone makes your
intrinsic.
entrails your extrails?
So the baptism of fire and the baptism of the Holy Ghost both are very intrinsic experiences.
Yes.
Yeah, there
Yes,
is
they are.
inside.
Yes, they are.
In fact, so much inside, when the dissenters had it, they didn't understand it until they got told later, as described in Helaman 5 and 3rd Nephi.
Yep. This is what was happening, by the way, guys.
But according to Brighamite LDS false prophets, if one that one can never experience the fullness of the Holy Ghost without these outward ordinances, initiated over wrongfully by the Melchizedek priesthood.
Yeah, it's such a lie. And I'm
that's because they don't. That's because they don't understand what the Holy Ghost is.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit is Torah, and the baptism of the Holy Spirit is where you are keeping it completely, or pretty dang close to completely. And more importantly, Yahweh has told you you have eternal life, and that is an inward thing where it's words given to you. It's not a ceremony as claimed by many people. So,
right.
I mean, even the best description we have of the baptism of fire is not. It's an experience that each one of those people had individually.
Yeah, it's not a ceremony they went through, was it?
No.
So it wasn't an outward thing, it was an inward.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's intensely personal.
Yeah. All right, so moving on.
Very intrinsic, not extrinsic.
Yes.
Now, foreign.
So definition 4. Anyways.
Yeah, definition 4, foreign, not intestine as an outward war.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Trending to the exterior part. Oh, wow.
Oh, maybe this has to do with the foreign war, right?
Yeah.
So it's outside your borders, right?
Yeah,
right.
outside.
Yep.
As opposed to a civil war.
Which would be an inward war, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Just be careful. There's one coming up, inward war or civil war. Right?
Yes, there is.
Yes,
and it's
there
coming
is.
sooner than people think.
Yeah. Anyways.
5, tending to the exterior part.
What? There seems to be a common theme here.
Yeah, it's
Exterior,
outside, exterior,
external,
external, outward.
extrinsic. In
A lot of-
scripture,
a lot of X.
civil, public, as opposed to religious.
Oh, as in like baptism and sacrament are public ordinances versus baptism in the baptism of fire and baptism in the Holy Spirit are private, eternal, internal.
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 Well, it has eternal ramifications.
Yeah. I still said
But
the
it's
wrong
only,
word, but
but it's only eternal if you continue to walk in it.
Correct.
Number 7 in theology, carnal, fleshly, corporeal, not spiritual as the outward man.
I don't think this one applies. But anyways.
No.
And then outward, external form.
So
the noun, right? The noun. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
this hopefully people can see the LDS Brighamite Temple ordinance, if you could call it that, is an outward and should be being done by the Aaronic priesthood if it was authentically from Yah.
Correct.
If it was authentically from Yah, it would have to be performed by the Aaronic priesthood.
Yeah, and it's
If
not,
it-
and not
if it
among.
is possible-
And only by
it
the
is
priests
possible-
of the Aaronic priesthood.
But it is possible that it is authentic to another source and performed by another priesthood.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's of the occult. It's just, it's not of Yah, it's of Satan. So
Yes.
Yep.
we'll leave it at that. But I
And
did
the
want to
covenants
point
and
that
the
out.
covenants that you make are not with Yah.
Well, yeah, and Mosiah 18 brings out how we covenant keep all his commandments at baptism before we're baptized, and baptism is a witness of that covenant that we made.
Right.
So there's no more that you have to covenant to do because you already covenant to do everything.
Right.
You don't need anything else.
Nope.
And the ones that you do need are internal ones.
There you go. Yep.
Run through the Melchizedek priesthood, and that's baptism of fire and baptism of the Holy Spirit. So,
Right.
anyways, but I did
Right.
want to point that out because I did think it was cool when Ben brought it out initially, and we're here. So, anyways, moving on.
So verse 15.
Yeah. The bishopric is the presidency of this priesthood. And it
Okay,
holds-
so which priesthood?
The Aaronic.
Aaronic.
So now this is going to sound weird, and this is what I believe this is saying. There is not a deacon presidency, there is not a teacher's presidency, and there's not a priest presidency. There's a presidency of the Aaronic priesthood.
That is
Meaning
within
that one presidency is over all of them, and there's not.
all of the Aaronic
Minor.
priesthood within the. There's one presidency over the Aaronic priesthood within a single church
Branch.
Correct. So there's not a presidency for each grouping. There's one presidency for them all, and that is the bishopric.
Right.
Yeah.
And they should be holding the keys or authority of the entirety of the priesthood.
Right.
So, no man has a legal right to this office.
Meaning, you're voted in, right?
Well,
Except there's an
then let me
exception.
finish the-
There-
unless
Yeah. Okay.
to hold the keys of this priesthood, except he be a literal descendant of Aaron.
Now, I'm going to say something. If there's multiple literal descendants of Aaron, you still have to vote.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have to have the Aaronic priesthood. They just aren't descendants. They got to have the Aaronic priesthood and worthy, and then voted on. Of course, if there's only one to vote on, who's going to win?
Right.
Not the one that is there.
Yeah.
Ah, that can't be.
So if there's only one, there's
So what you're saying is that just because they're a literal descendant of Aaron doesn't mean it's automatic.
no. Yeah.
No,
They got to have the priesthood because
Well, they got to be
maybe
worthy.
they've done something
Yeah.
that made it so that they lost their priesthood, right?
Right. That's what I'm saying. They have to be
Worthy.
striving to live Torah.
Yeah, they have to be worthy, and as we talked
And
about,
they have to have the
Deacons,
priesthood. That would help.
yeah, they got to be 25 Hebrew. They got to be married. The children is not a requirement because maybe someone's sterile or whatever, right? Or they got
But
married
they
late.
should be married. Yeah, they
But
should
they
be
should
married.
be married. They have to be married. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah.
because there's skills and abilities that you get when you have to live with somebody all the time.
Right.
Being married and dating are two different things.
Completely
For those who don't
different.
know, there are two different things. Okay.
Way different.
But as a high priest of the Melchizedek priesthood has authority to officiate in all the lesser offices, he may officiate in the office of bishop when no literal descendant of Aaron can be found.
With the right requirements, age and
Right.
and being
And married and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Provided he is called and set apart and ordained unto this power by the hands of the presidency of the Melchizedek priesthood.
So that is the presidency of the church.
Right.
It's not a 70 or a stake president or something
Not
like that.
something that it's not something they get to delegate.
Wait,
And
No,
it's not the 12
mean-
traveling, and it's not the 12 travelers either.
Wait,
no, that's
but-
completely different.
but the Brighamites say that the quorum of the 12 talk to they have keys and the stake president has a dormant key, and so when the when the member of the quorum of the 12 goes to the stake president, he awakens that dormant key in the stake president so that he can then give the keys that key to the bishop, and once he does that, then that key becomes dormant in the stake president again.
So until I see that in the word of Yah, that's a false tradition of men, and you should not be doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the most gigantic cluster screw, brain screw ever.
It's
Well,
yeah.
When you discuss it, when you talk about it out loud, it's a brain screw.
Yeah,
you have to
that-
keep in mind-
I
have to keep in
agree.
mind-
There
Yeah.
might be a better way of saying it, but ultimately I agree.
But at the same time, you do have to keep in mind where a lot of people are who are in the Brighamite LDS Church and who just accept things without really questioning them.
Well,
And
because it
who
sounds
don't really study the scriptures either.
Well, so when we were Brighamites, we didn't. I mean, I'll tell you, I never really understood the priesthood. I don't think anybody did because
No.
they're going
Oh,
against
no.
in the DNC. But I didn't question that part. I didn't really. So I mean, it's people above me. What I'm going to do? Tell them that they're wrong? I mean, I will now. But
Yeah.
and back then, I didn't know any better. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
They don't like it. But even with scriptures, but the LDS Church doesn't have you study scriptures that shows that they're doing things that are wrong. Okay, so
Right.
a lot of people their only study of scriptures is at church.
So here's what we can clearly see is that there is a hierarchical structure of sorts.
Some, but not to the
Of
that-
sorts. Of
um,
sorts.
Not to the
yes.
degree, not to the degree that you find it in the LDS Church.
correct.
But there is a hierarchy in Yah's church.
Yeah, and we can see in the Aaronic Priesthood there's some hierarchy and some flat, right? It's a mixture.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what you so the thing that you have to or the and this is also further reinforced by the fact that it's forget which section it's in, but people don't receive revelation for those who are above them. in terms of the true hierarchy that does exist. For instance, I can't, if I'm not the president of the church, if I'm just a lay member, I can't receive a revelation for the president of the church.
So we got to be careful, because there is some of that in play, but also the members are to keep the leaders in check too. So
Yeah, but that's not that, but they're to keep them in check with the revelations that already exist.
I agree with that. And I wonder, and this is where we should find the verse to be for sure, which we could pause about.
Let's pause and look that up.
Oh, okay, yeah, because that would be the best mode of action. So I'm going to pause for a minute. Okay, so Ben found the verse. This is D&C 28:6, and we've so go ahead and we can talk about it.
Okay. In 28, in Doctrine and Covenants, section 28, verse 6, it says, "Thou shalt not command him who is at thy head and at the head of the church." This does not mean that we cannot hold the head of the church responsible for his
That's partly where I was
for any misdeeds. But that is accountability. That is not commanding the head of the church. That is holding him accountable to what he says he is teaching.
Yeah, and I will wholeheartedly admit I made a little mistake, misunderstanding with the commanding and accountability, and that was my bad. So thank you for correcting.
God knows I need correction often enough. But the point remains that we don't. Not everybody. It's not part and parcel. While it is stated very clearly in the Old Testament that even babes shall prophesy, it is not the part and parcel of every member of the Church of the Firstborn to receive revelation for the Church of the Firstborn.
No, well, okay, so Ben's bringing up a new issue. Let's talk about it a little bit. So Yahweh can bring revelation, and at judgment bar with him, everybody will be held accountable for it.
Yes.
But the issue right here, Paul, is the church. What can the church hold people responsible to? And that's what's been voted on and accepted by common consent. So there's a church issue, and there's the last judgment issue, or even on the civil side, there's the civil common consent.
But when it comes to revealing mysteries, commandments, new law,
yeah, the mystery revelations that expound mysteries, that's the head does, but revelations that
is for the head to do. That's for the head.
Other revelations that aren't dealing with mysteries can be by others. So
revelation to help you understand the revelations that have already been received is open for everyone.
Right. So,
but new mysteries, new doctrines, new new commandments.
Yeah, it's only the head that can do the commandments.
That belongs to the head.
Yeah.
And depending on how general or personal they are, that head is either the church, the president of the priesthood, or Jesus Christ himself.
Right. Yes. As there is some hierarchy in the church, it's not quite like what a lot of people claim it is. So, but there is some hierarchy. Go ahead.
And I do think that leaders in the church should be open to constructive criticism that will help them do their job better.
Yeah, I agree. Well, not that I'm a leader, but I just took some. I mean, I'm kind of leader of our little group here, but I just took it. It's fine.
And due to that, because through that, now that might come as a revelation to that guy from somebody else who's beneath him, but he does. We should be willing to accept constructive criticism. Now, there's difference between constructive criticism and just telling somebody that he's a son of a bitch and he needs to.
Or he has I would keep a booger face or
yeah, he has a
booger face.
There's difference between constructive criticism and name calling.
And ad
there's a
hominem
big
attacks.
difference.
Yes, there is a difference between constructive criticism and ad hominem attacks. Yes.
Yes.
So, but all leaders of the church should be open to constructive criticism.
Yes. Yeah. Everybody should be. No one's above the word of Yah, right? So
Right.
No. Not even Yah.
yeah, he holds himself to it, but he's got it completely written on his heart before he was born, so he doesn't need reminders. As we're still working on writing it on our heart completely, we do need reminders, right? So
and the other thing to bear in mind, when you are constructively criticizing your leadership is that you don't know what has been revealed to what has been revealed to them already. You should talk things through.
yeah, and I think we're pretty good at that in this group.
Yeah.
Maybe not perfect, but I think we're pretty good.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I think so.
Well, this is just general advice for anybody who might actually watch this thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'm just saying we try to practice that.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And so, for anyone who might be watching, if you want to have a good discussion and learn about Torah and learn how to become, join us.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And taste the fruit and see if it isn't delightful to you.
Well, I as long as you don't fight against the restoration, and that could be a little tricky because some people might think I fight against some of it, but I fight about perversions of it.
Yeah.
I don't fight against Yahweh's ways.
I generally only fight against things that claim to be restoration that are not.
Correct, and that's fine, because I do that myself. But we're not here fight. If you're not fighting against the truth, you want to learn, you're welcome. But if you got questions, you're still welcome, because Moroni 6:9 brings out how we're supposed to talk about issues that people are having. So,
well, and hence tonight's lesson.
yeah, because Josh had a question. So,
Okay.
we're not going to finish everything just because of time constraints. Because some people apparently have to sleep. I don't know what their problem is.
This is a strange thing. Actually, I'm getting pretty tired myself, but I can keep going as long as need be.
No, I think this is a good stopping point. So
yeah, we finished with the Aaronic Priesthood, and we can get into Melchizedek at another juncture in time.
as long as you don't want to make me spell it. So as you saw earlier, I don't know how to
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I hope everybody learned something to get closer to Yahweh and His ways. Specifically, church government in this case, but it's an important thing. It's how Yahweh wants His church to be governed, and it should not be changed. If it's His church, we do it His way, not our modified way. So,
We don't know better than He does.
no.